Are you curious about living in Federal Way, Washington? Well, in this video, we're going to go over the pros and cons of living in Federal Way. And as a former teacher in Federal Way, I have a really good idea about the vibes of the city. Hi, my name is Gus Montgomery. In today's video, we're going to go over the pros and cons of living in Federal Way, Washington. As I mentioned in the intro, I was a teacher in Federal Way Public Schools for 5 years. So Federal Way definitely holds a special place in my heart. I am a local real estate broker in the greater Seattle area. I got other videos on my YouTube channel to give you different ideas about the vibes of each city to see if it's a great fit for you. So please check out those other videos on my YouTube channel. Pro number one is Federal Way is one of the more affordable cities in the greater Seattle area. When you look at the median home prices in Federal Way, it is $600,000. If you compare that to other nearby cities like Renton, which has a median home price of $750,000, then Seattle, which has a median home price of $860,000, you can see that Federal Way is substantially lower than those other nearby cities. Pro number two is Federal Way's close proximity to other major cities. From Federal Way to Seattle, it's about a 30-minute drive without traffic. From Federal Way to Tacoma, it's about a 20-minute drive without traffic. Granted, I said without traffic, and later in this video, I'm going to definitely tell you about the commute it will take if there is traffic in the area. Pro number three, Federal Way is a diverse community. Actually, according to niche.com, Federal Way Public Schools is the #1 most diverse school district in Washington State. The cultural diversity in Federal Way is reflected in its local businesses, events, and restaurants. There is a fantastic blend of cultural diverse cuisines in the area. And when it comes to Asian food, if you ask any local foodie, they will tell you Federal Way has the best Asian food in all of Washington State. Pro number four is the family-friendly activities. You have beautiful outdoor opportunities in places like Dash Point State Park and Still Lake. You have the Aquatic Center for swimming. You have the Federal Way Commons Mall. You have the Federal Way Community Center. Then you also have a skating rink plus the Wild Waves theme and water park, which is probably, no, it's definitely the best water park in Western Washington, if not all of Washington State. Let's go over to the cons. Con number one is the traffic. As we mentioned earlier in the video, Federal Way does have a close proximity to Seattle and Tacoma, but we said those times without traffic. And we have to be honest, we have to tell you that there's a lot of traffic in the area, so we gotta give you the commute times when there is traffic. So from Federal Way to Seattle, if you're making that morning commute on a weekday around 7 a.m., the commute time can range to 40 minutes up to 1 hour and 40 minutes. Now, if you're making a commute back from Seattle to Federal Way in the evening on a weekday around 5 p.m., that commute time can range from 35 minutes to 1 hour and 10 minutes. If you are making the commute from Federal Way to Tacoma in the morning, the commute time is pretty much the same, about 20 minutes. In the evening time, going back from Tacoma to Federal Way for the evening commute, it ranges up to 40 minutes. But during those peak hours, there's going to be traffic, not only from those drives from Federal Way to Seattle, Federal Way to Tacoma, but also in Federal Way as well. Con number two is the rain and seasonal depression. Similar to other cities in the Pacific Northwest, there's a lot of days in the calendar year that you will have rain. Federal Way has about 158 days of rain per year. But when you actually look at the amount of rain per year, It doesn't rank that highly amongst other US cities, but it's the consistent drizzle of rain year round, plus the dark, gloomy, and cloudy skies. It does seem like in the area you don't see the sunlight for a good part of the year, which leads a lot of people to seasonal depression. Now, seasonal depression is an individual case by case basis, but there is seasonal depression linked to those living in the area. So if you are moving from a more sunnier climate, just keep in mind that some people do suffer from that, but not everybody. Con number three is the reputation of crime. Based on the statistics that you find online, it may suggest that Federal Way has a higher crime rate than the national US city average. Also, based on locals that you talk to in the area, everybody seems to have mixed opinions about Federal Way. Now, crime does exist, but based on my own experience, I've never felt unsafe in the area. I've had a lot of friends that grew up in Federal Way or have currently living in Federal Way. They've had nothing but great things to say about Federal Way. Everybody's a little bit different about what they like about a city. I just want you to know that there's a reputation out there. Con number four is its limited entertainment options. As we mentioned earlier in the video, there's a lot of family-friendly options out there. But if you're looking for nightlife, shows, concerts, you're not going to find that in Federal Way. You'll have to go to places like Seattle and Tacoma. So if you're choosing to live in Federal Way, definitely keep that in mind. All right, that is it for today's video. Living in Federal Way, the pros and cons. If you value this content, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I will continue to provide more value going forward. Till next time, take care.